What is happening? There we go. All right, can you all see me? Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the show. It is House Edge Live with John from ProCraps on Casino Gaming TV. I got no voice today, so I apologize in advance for how this is going to sound all day. But good to see y'all here. We're gonna do a little review of the event today, as best I can get through it. And I got Ian and Dan out there in the chat, so good to see you guys here. If I miss anything, of course, you'll be my conscience and hook me up here. I think I got everything. I hope I forgot or didn't forget anybody, but let's get to it here and go through some of what happened over the weekend. It was obviously a very successful weekend. We made our goal, which was pretty awesome. Let's see, we're gonna skip the bridge today. We're not gonna do any gambling talk today. Can you believe that? No gambling talk. We're just gonna get right to the event here, and I want to talk about what happened here to the screen. Is it okay? The screen feels like things are jacked up. No, I guess it's okay. Sorry, I'm just a little bit out of, like I said, out of sorts. But anyway, let's talk about what happened over the weekend. We did really good in some areas. In some areas, I think we dropped the ball. So I want to make sure we talk through all of that today and give you kind of a sense of how it felt to be there, and maybe give y'all some incentive maybe to come to us next year. So I'll start out with some pictures of the event here. It's going to take me a minute to get through these things, but we have let's see, there's Jeff and Ryan from Mark the Point. And if you don't know, Jeff's a big guy. Jeff makes us all look like his children. But Jeff, it was so good to see Jeff and Lydia there and get to meet her for the first time, get to hang out with Jeff. Of course, Ryan and I are becoming quick friends. Ryan's great, man. Ryan is so much fun to hang out with. He's just a good time guy, man. Ryan has fun playing the game, and he had fun with us all week. It was great. And these are all Ryan's selfies. So there's Ryan and there's Ian Olsen, the famous Ian Olsen. And there's Ryan and Brian before their. I think that was actually probably after, but right around the time they did the craps on the cruise, sort of. What do you want to call it? The throwdown, I guess it was. And here's some of the behind the scenes look. So these are the scenes you guys don't see. So we're doing that one session. I think this one I was maybe talking to Jen. This is actually before they did their craps. Anyway, you can see in the back there, Craig is behind the control panel. The control panel is there's like a little, you can't see my mouse, I guess, like a little, like a table here, like a little push cart thing. On the push cart is my laptop, and there's Craig. Probably checking chat right there, but he's running the controls all weekend. Next to him was Leon over here. This head over here is Leon in the corner. Leon did such a great job of keeping the donation thing hot. So every time anybody donated $1, Leon updated the little ticker board thing. So that was great. And there's Trey, Two Wheel Paradise in the back there, and of course Dice Dr. Dan. There's me and Ryan. There's looks like somebody filming. It's like there's Eddie the veteran there, and Lori, and there's Clayton Jones the dog, and that's look at us getting doing the filming there. Ian and Jen, or Ryan and Jen rather. Here's again another behind the scenes segment. This is when Rick Duvall was talking to probably Garrison, I think at that point. There's me getting in Joe's face for something I don't know, but that was during the Dice Data interview. With Matt from Dice Data. That was I'm probably just making. I think Joe said something really incredible, and I was like, "Yeah, man, that's the point we want to make." Because I was happy with Joe, not upset with Joe in that picture right there. And there's Jen gearing up for the battle royale. I think another good shot the behind the scenes. There's Dan up there on the chair on the right. Of course, Joe from Craftsmaster Journey, Leon and Craig. That was the kind of the production crew. Those three really kept the whole show going while I was on camera. They kind of ran everything, made sure that nothing had to happen. Nothing happened that didn't happen. So it was really awesome to see those guys and have them help me out. Otherwise, we never would have got through it. Here's Joe arriving in his stretch, of course. There's the crew playing some Stadium over there at Planet. Is that Paris? I guess that's Paris. That's not Planet Hollywood. That's definitely Paris' Stadium area. There's me and Kat on the plane. Right? By the way, we took the little volume, please. You realize it kind of is low. We flew out of a different airport this time. It was a great experience. So we had two really great flights in and out of town. I think that's the last picture. No, that's my favorite one. This is a picture of Eddie, our veteran, taking a nap. I mean, it was a long day. We were there from 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock both days, and Eddie Eddie and his dog Clayton, the service animal, taking a little siesta right there. There is Joe and Nemo, and there's Leon in the background and my wife over there on the couch. But yeah, Nemo joined us this weekend. We got to play with him for the first time live, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so that was some of the pictures that some of the crew had taken. I admittedly am a really shitty YouTuber. I'm not good at social media. I can teach a little bit and I can talk a little bit, but I'm not good at taking selfies. I'm not good at like documenting things. Holy Roller Brian was documenting he has videos of everything. He was interviewing all of us behind the scenes. He videotaped the entire setup. I'm just not good at that stuff. I have to get better. I know I do. Because it matters, but it's like in the moment, I just don't think of it. Anyway, bunch of thank yous to get through here. So first of all, the cast from the venue. So thank you to David and Alex at CQ for giving us the place to be, right? We basically took over their entire place for that one room there for the whole 2 days that were great with us. Craig, Leon, Joe, Jeff, Ian, Ryan, Brian, Jeff, Dice Dr. Dan, all the people that make the show happen the whole time. Like we literally like Craig from All Bay Crafts is back there. He's like, ready, 3, 2, and as he says 2, Ian and Jen and Dan are like, everybody shut up, and whew, the room gets silent, and then we start talking. Like it was like such clockwork this time. It was so great. Our guests, we had of course, Ed and Bo and Nick and Garrison, Matt from Dice Data. Heavy and Gargoyle filled 2 hours of amazing content for us. We're gonna cut that out, of course, as a bunch of smaller videos, but they did a great job getting us good entertainment and keeping the thing kind of flowing. A bunch of people donated items, right? Obviously, David and Alex at Casino Quest put up dealer courses and Nexus memberships, and of course, the date with David and Alex. Gargoyle put up those amazing felts, and we're still going to keep those open, by the way. The felts are still available for raffle. Your choice of 3. He's got one from the Mirage. The Mirage Crapless, no longer a thing. The Aladdin, no longer a thing. The Frontier, I think, is 50 years old, right? Some serious history there that he's got. We'll leave those raffles open for a few more days. Heavy Haltom, of course, put up his Actors Power Crap seminar. That will remain open. Bo Parker, everybody who donated $1,000, and there's a bunch of them, get a lesson with Bo. So he's stepped up like he does every year. Rick Duval made that amazing cutting board. I don't have it with me, but we bought the one that was there. The one that he brought with him, my wife bought that. So that's coming to my house. But he sold 2 other ones, and plus we have the one that was in the raffle. So Rick's gonna make like 4 of those darn things. Matt from Dice Data, of course, stepped up there with the full analysis. Oh, I put in Garrison's on here. Garrison should be on the screen too. Garrison put up the Platinum Power Crafts, which raised almost $300, right? And K9 Comp stepped up the very end with absinthe tickets. So we're gonna leave that open for a little bit. So there we go. Joe says hi and off to bed. Thanks for putting on a great show. Thanks for your help in making the show great. That's what I come back to you there. We'll get to your question, Scott, in a minute. If you have a question, by the way, just put a Q in front of it. I'll make sure I get to that later on. Okay. Who else we have to thank? We have to go through some more things here. Let's see. The donors, the big donor list. So of course, Justice Jen stepped up at the end there with that massive donation of $20K, which was great. That put us over the top, obviously, right? Jeff and Gargoyle together put up $5,000, and I want to say this because they they stepped up and did that, of course, and part of that is based on the channel success, right? Jeff and Gargoyle with their bi-weekly shows, you guys are supporting them amazingly. They supported us in return, right? And that's just like, to me, that's kind of endemic of what our community is all about, right? You all watch them religiously. They bring great content, and they kind of paid it forward. That was awesome. Bud Freeland, obviously, with the first $5,000 donation for Ed's dog Pearson. Ted Berry stepped up personally with $1,000 and also led the AC group with $1,000. My wife put up $1,250 between random donations here and there, and all added up. So I want to make sure I called her out because she supports us and me every year. She lets me do this goofy hobby of mine, right? And still supports it. So that's great. We had 53 people buy raffle tickets, which is awesome. We need a few more, but we had 53 people step up to my raffle tickets. We had 6 people do the high impact donations. We had 63 dog funders at $3,600. We had about $1,000 in cash. We had about $4,000 in live chats, right? The live chats were probably 200 donations of varying amounts. And yes, yeah, that's right. Dan's donation is I don't know why I didn't put it on here. I thought I did. Dan, by the way, stepped up at the very, very end, right? And what happened was we were at like 40 after Jen's donation, we were like 46,000, blah blah blah, right? Dan goes, it's an even 50. Just like that, out of nowhere, Dan comes up with an even 50. So yeah, he should be on the screen. I don't know why. I knew I forgot something on here. I always forget when I'm putting these things together. I forget something. Dan's the man, by the way. Dan was there. Dan has been there since the first year we were in Vegas. So it's our 4th year in Vegas. Dan has been there from opening bell to closing bell every year for 4 years in a row. He leads the charge on in-house donations while we're there. He's passing the hat. He rounds things off. He was the first person to donate to the dog training fund this year. And he took Kathy and I out to dinner, actually, the other night on Monday. We went to this place called Capo's. It was an Italian restaurant kind of near Palace. And it was like mob run. Like it was like a mob run restaurant. So you have to like, you meet a guy outside and he's like, it looks like he's a homeless guy. Like you're just talking to this random guy. And then he says something to you and you go inside and there's no way to get in the restaurant. You got to like ring a bell and knock on the door 3 times. And then a window opens up and a guy comes out and he goes, hey, what's the password? And you're like, what the heck are you talking about? And the guy outside is the one giving you the password to get into the speakeasy. Then you go in and you eat, right? So Dan and Kathy and I had dinner for about 3 hours. We sat there and we just talked for 3 hours. It was fantastic. We had such a great time with Dan. Then we came back to the casino together, and that wasn't such a great time. But we had a great time at dinner. Dan is the man, as they say. Awesome dude. Let's see what else we have here. We have next year. Oh, or actually, we're still not done yet. We have, and I have to reach out privately now to Big AZ, to HCS, to TCS, and some others, because the AC group puts up $1,000 every year. Every year they get together, and as a group they put up $1,000. And Ted Berry, who leads that group, who leads that effort in that group anyway, put the challenge out to all the others. He's like, hey, the other craps crews out there, can you guys put up $1,000 each as well? Right. So I got to put the challenge out personally to them. We'll leave our raffles open for a few more days. So we're not quite done yet, but we did hit the goal. Right. We hit the $50,000 goal. We're going to go a little bit over that. And what does that mean? Hitting the goal is kind of a big deal, right? Like year 1, we were able to pay for a dog, right? We were able to buy one dog, and it cost about $25,000 to buy a dog. And the $25,000 number is not for the dog, but it's for naming rights. So we were able to name the dog after Chiro, and that dog is named Mooch. You see her on the left. We in the second year raised again enough money to not only buy the dog but get naming rights for it, and we named that dog Pearson after Ed Robinson's kid, who, as you know, passed last year. This year, to round them out, right, you need 25 for the dog and 25 for the training. So all told, we needed to get about $100,000, between $80,000 and $100,000 between the 3 years to get 2 dogs bought, named, and all the way paid for. This year's goal was 50, and we hit the goal, which was fantastic. We're actually a little bit over the goal, which is great because I think we're about $3,000 or $4,000 over. So we got it. We got it with the help of some people who really bigly stepped up, which was great. And it was like humbling to me every year to see people step up like they do. And so we got it done. So yeah, so there's a question out there in chat. Did we meet the expectations? We financially met the expectations. I do, and we'll talk about what's going to come next year and lessons learned and that kind of thing. We'll have another show on that at some point once we have our final thing. But there's things we could do better, and there's areas where I think we fell short and areas where we think we stepped up. Like in past years, we'd raised $16,000 and $25,000 without the giant donations, right? So the smaller donations didn't add up to what they usually add up to, and I think that's on me. Pre-marketing, and maybe there's some lessons learned in how we did the auctions and stuff like that. But anyway, so far so awesome. We did a great job. We have things open still for a little bit. Everybody wants to know, of course, how the gambling went. So I can tell you, Nick Fava was awesome, Scott. That guy was fantastic, wasn't he? All right, so my gambling, I'm down for the week. I did not do great this weekend. The first private table night, I lost $300. The second one, we had I think I forget which night was which. I got them mixed up. The night that Jeff was there, I forget, was that the first night or second night? I should have taken better notes. Jeff did great. Jeff had like a 30 something roller. I think Jen and Jeff both back to back had pretty good rollers, but the other side of the table was so horrible, right? Even with the horseman, I was getting picked off on the, you know, how it's sometimes, right? I was down pretty good. And then Jeff got me way up. Like Jeff was night. I thought so. He was night two. The first night was horrible. I just never caught a rhythm at all the first night. The second night, Jeff and Jen back to back. I think Jen had 19 or 21, something like that. I don't know. First night, whatever. I forget which night's which. Your first night, second night. We were down. I think Jeff and Jen back to back had like 21 and 35 or something. But we were getting kind of shelled around the table. So those two good rolls were like get you even, get you up kind of rolls, right? Instead of starting at even and getting really up kind of rolls, right? But I ended up coming back to the table and then losing 220, bam, bam. We went 110 in, and it was two straight PSOs, and it took the profits away, which kind of sucked. But they were great. Jeff rolled awesome. I did a coffee run the next morning, actually, and got $100 back, which was nice from the night before. The night before was kind of a shelling. And you're right, and Jen's got it right here. It was break-in dealers. Now, again, that's not their fault for being break-in dealers, right? It is what it is. But it was slow. Both nights were very slow. Matt from Dice Data was like, one of the comments he made there was, because his simulations are based on pace and speed of game, right? Matt said, "Oh my God," he's like, "I'm planning. My simulations are all based on 65 to 80 rolls an hour." He's like, "We're lucky we're getting 30 rolls an hour. If we got 30 rolls an hour there, it would have been nuts to even get that fast." Very, very, very slow table. So that was part of the problem. There was no rhythm to it. And it is what it is, right? Some players on night two, who shall remain nameless, were doing a lot of hopping and a lot of shit all over the place. And when you have break-in dealers, first of all, hop bets all over the place are hard to do anyway for a dealer, and they don't like it because it just chips all over the place. You have a break-in house with rookie dealers doing hop bets, no bueno, man. It was really, really, really rough that you can't do that, right? It was a lot. But anyway, that slows things a little bit down. So, anyway, Planet Hollywood, we did great. And by the way, my rolling wasn't terrible this weekend. I think I had four times, maybe five, where it was one hit and out, like just not a PSO, but might as well have been a PSO, right? One hit and done. I had 3 or 4 in the 15 plus area. I hit the small 3 times. I hit it once with everybody at Planet Hollywood. I hit it with Dr. Dan on Monday night, and I hit it the night before. One of the private table nights I hit the small too. So I hit the small 3 times, which was for me good. Actually, I think I hit it in 12 rolls, right? Something like that. The one night, Jen, something like that. So I did okay. Throwing, not the greatest, but my betting this weekend was not on point. I was back and forth, horseman to regular play. I kept trying to lean in and just go, and it was not great. So whatever. Vacation money goes on fire, and I lost about $650 roughly over the weekend. So not my best work. However, my wife crushed it. I'll show you, because this is what Kathy does to me. I'm over there getting my ass handed. I should have this one of the pictures. Getting my ass handed to me in craps like I do. And hold on a second. Where is the text from Kathy? Just because you have to see it, because she's so damn funny. I get these from her all the time. She's like, "Look at this." She sends me these pictures. Like, look at that. She's like, that's a 4 deuce hand or 5 deuce hand, right? All weekend long, I'm over the table going, "Oh my God, I'm just, I can't find a run." And I get this picture of 4 or 5 deuces, right? So she hit the 5 deuces, I think 6 times over the weekend. So she carried the crew. Second time in her life she's ever come back from Vegas with more money than she went there with. So she's a big winner, which was fantastic. So she had a great time. We really loved Palace. We had a great time there, except for the oyster bar, which kind of smells like fish. But we had a great time at the place. Kathy loved the poker machines. We loved our room. We got really hooked up well by Chris and by David. So it was really, really good. Great weekend overall, great weekend. My gambling notwithstanding, but we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. We'll do some gambling talk tomorrow. Yeah, so we did have there was an issue with a couple of people with the betting, and Dan, it was slow. We had to leave. I get that. The first night, one guy was had a tough time with the hop bets. The problem with the hop bets is not all the hopping. It's like the horn high ace deuce for $8, or $10 horn high ace deuce, and a dealer $2 thing, and then it wins. Then it's like press that one by 6, that one by 2, and they were getting the math all jacked up. And because the payments weren't right, it took a while to get through it. So those are the things that slowed things down on different sides of the table. So that was sort of the thing. It is what it is, right? I think some systems are just made for bubble craps. Some are made for live tables, right? Great Crap says the international bison, buffalo, bunny, jackalope, whatever you want to call it, is not a good bet with break-in dealers. I would agree with that. You got to kind of know your audience, know your venue, sort of a thing, right? All right, let's move ahead. I got to tell the story. Dan wanted me to tell the story of the crotchety old man. And by the way, another call out here on the Monday night table with Dan. So Dan and I played Monday, and we played on. They have at Palace. They got 3 tables. They got 2 that are like regular size. One that's a aircraft carrier. We play on the aircraft carrier, and on the right side with Dan, I did not shoot well. That was my 2. I think I shot twice from the right side, my normal side, and they were not good. I think it was like 2 hits and out and 1 hit and out. It was not great. I switched sides, and I'm like, I'm switching to the horseman. And I said, I'm sorry, but I got to go horseman, everybody. And so I go my don't pass bet. And then this guy in the end, I forget what his name was now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's on the end. And the dealer, by the way, as I walked over there, the stick person comes in. Her name was Jeannie. And she was fantastic. She was like, hi, I'm Jeannie. What's your name? She was super like bubbly and nice, and like, everybody at the table, what's your name? What's your name? Where are you from? How you doing? Are you having a good time? She was totally like customer service. And then next to me comes this little old guy. And I go don't pass. And I don't pass, I'm doing the horseman, right? And this little old man comes up, and he's fine at first, but he's just like, hey, let me get an 8. And he throws out, a nickel. She's like, it's got to be 12. Or $10 minimum. He goes, and he throws out his second nickel for the 8, right? And so he's playing, and the guy at the end's getting pissy already. The guy already does not like this old man. And anyway, the old guy, of course, is being just a crotchety old dude, and giving the dealers a hard time for nothing, right? We didn't even start playing yet. And then he goes off and he throws like a 15 roller, right? And he knocks off my don't pass, right? And the guy at the end's like, take that motherfucking don't down. And I'm like, dude, I'm just playing craps over here, right? I actually clapped when the guy made his point. I'm like, good job, dude. I went to give him a fist bump, and the other guy down there is like giving me shit, whatever. Play the horseman, and so they guy 7's out, the other guy gets the dice, sets a point of 6, throws a 6, and the old man doesn't get paid. And he's like, where the fuck's my money? And they're like, well, when you were rolling, your point was 6, sir, and we moved your bet to the 10. And because you had the pass line back, he goes, I was getting paid on every goddamn section. He was like bitching up a storm. And Jeannie is like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. How can I make this right for you? And she puts his bet back. Is that the way you'd like it? And he's like, you're just taking my freaking money. And he was, oh my God, right? It was such a thing. So fun. Anyway, Jeannie handled that like a professional, like great. The guy in the end never got his groove back. He was pissed off. How about it, Dan? The entire night he was pissed off. He was so mad. It was unbelievable. Anyway, it was still a fun night. I like craps for the stories. Like, to me, I don't care about the $100, right? We lost $100. I don't really care. I hit the small, which got me back. But I'll never forget that dude. He was like 3'4", and Jeannie the dealer just going. She was so good to him. Like, she was so good. She's like, are your bets okay, sir? Is this how you'd like it? Before we throw the dice, are you okay? And he's like, you're just trying to. It was unreal. Anyway, that was a fun night. It capped off that great dinner that Dan and Kathy had. And Kathy, by the way, Dan, was like, my God, that guy is so much fun. We had such a great time. Yeah, you shouldn't be emotional. And like the guy at the end was mad at the old guy, but he was really mad that I had a don't pass bet out there, and he was really just mad. And he sat out like on the end, just watching the whole thing. He watched me roll a small, which I think for him was like, the don't pass guy got the dice and rolled a small. You know what I mean? And it was like, whatever, dude. Like David's story that he told. Like from person to person, the dice don't know what's going on. It's just like anybody could be the guy. The old man threw a 15 roller, I threw a 20 roller, and the other guy was watching and fuming the whole time. So whatever. That's how you want your night to go. Good on you, I guess, right? That's about all you can say about that. All right, moving ahead. Next year, 26, we have to have a team review meeting at some point. One thing that came up this year, which I think was a really good point. Now, I know that the chat got contentious at times, right? But Duracell was asking the whole time for like, where's Crapsy? Where's Crapsy? Where's Crapsy? And there was two problems with that, right? And I'll explain it here live. One was the bet on me segments were not supposed to be live play. Like the idea of the bet on me or the play with me segment was supposed to be, which I think the first one was, right? Me rolling the dice, Ed Robinson making bets with a subscriber and going slow. Like I'm going to set, I'm going to throw. Ed's going to say, ooh, I'm watching your dice and here's what I see. Throw again. Ooh, I'm watching your dice. Here's what I see. Third throw, he goes, oh, I can see how, you're whatever he said about what my dice were doing. Then he went in and started betting. And here's what I bet and why. And the subscriber was doing something different. That's what this set was supposed to be. Very slow play, more about me throwing the YouTuber talking about part of what they saw and why they were betting how they did. I figured we'd probably get about 10, 15 rolls in the hour is what I was thinking. And the first one was kind of like that, right? Then it becomes more of a, let's just play. And we're all of a sudden we're playing craps, we're dealing with 3 people and becomes a whole thing. That segment grew into something I didn't want it to because of that. It wasn't slow enough for me. So Duracell was like, hey, why aren't you playing Crapsy? Like involve the audience with the play. Well, 2 things. One is I didn't plan for it. So we weren't prepared to do any kind of live thing, right? And as we learned last year, you cannot adjust the show mid-show. Jen and I got into a big argument last year because in the middle of the show, we were trying to make changes to the content because the content wasn't working. And I'm like, fuck it, man. It's my show. We have to do what we have to do. I can't change it in the midstream, right? We got this big thing. But you can't change midstream because you're already on task. You're already doing your thing and flipping the table and pulling out a Crapsy iPad trying to set shit up mid-show. You can't do it. You just can't do it unless you set it up that way ahead of time. So I didn't set it up ahead of time. No way to get there. Second thing was, as you know, Crapsy and Casino Quest are not only divorced, but it's a contentious divorce and it's being litigated, right? So Chuck may have said, oh, they can use Crapsy. David may have said, I don't give a shit what you do, but there's still this and that you can't do it. You just can't. There's no way that could have happened, right? I didn't even ask David if we could do it because there's just no way for it to happen, given the circumstances. So that's the reason why there was no Crapsy. Now, that doesn't mean to say next year there won't be, right? Next year, I'm considering doing 2 streams. If we do this again next year, if we do it again, it's a lot of work. I'm considering having 2 parallel live streams. One group of people filming the table, filming their gameplay, and doing a Crapsy-ish network craps kind of a thing the whole time. So one group is just playing craps, rolling betting, doing their thing with a Crapsy thing. The other part of the event, the second live stream, would be what we do now. Interviews and learnings and that kind of stuff. So you can kind of go back and forth between watching live stuff if you want to or talking to me if you want to, right? I think Dan said it best. He said, this feels like repetitive. Like the show is feeling like we've been there, done that. And I think a lot of you feel the same way. I think the average donation amount, besides the big ones, was down. The number of donations we got was down overall over the average. I think it's just a lot of the same, right? It's a lot of the same. So we have to think about what does it look like next year? What kind of stuff, what kind of content's gonna be better than this, right? I wanted to do less interviews this year because I know that's getting kind of rote, but we ended up doing interviews. So we need more stuff, right? Jen says we need more auction items. I agree and disagree at the same time because I think we didn't have enough this year. But at the same time, the years we've had all the auction items, it felt like it was too scattered and it was too much to manage. Like after the thing's over, managing all the auction items is so hard to do. So what we do, we have to figure that out. We have to, as a group, talk about like what's the best move. Auctions or raffles? How many things should we have? and how do we have kind of a running commentary on what's available and get the bidding in, right? Like maybe I don't know. We got to figure out a little more of those logistical things for next year. This year I wanted to under index on the number of items versus previous years having too many items and it being too hard to manage. So we went I over optimized. I don't know. We'll figure that out, right? But again, yeah, it feels repetitive. I think the way we do the shows. I think that doing vets moving forward again, I would like to. I love that organization so much. Some people are saying that maybe we should change it up. I don't know. So what I want is your thoughts. I mean, I'm going to start putting email campaign out and maybe a YouTube community kind of thing about what you want to do. But if you have thoughts on it, this is a great time to do it. Put some thoughts out here in chat about what you think next year could look like, in terms of things you'd want to see us do different than me just sitting and talking to people. Which again, valuable, but maybe kind of repetitive. Okay. All right, let's go to your comments and stuff now. I'm not going to do any tape. I don't even have cameras. All my cameras are still back there in the suitcase. You can tell I'm getting my voice is starting to go there. So yeah, so you're right. So the last year we did too many items and the ticket was too cheap. That was part of the problem. 100%. That was part of the wrong screen. That was definitely part of the problem. So yeah, you can only buy so many of them. There's a lot for sure that we can adjust. Randy Hill, I think the best segment was on cruising and it didn't generate any donations. You know why? I'll tell you exactly why. Because of what you said, it was one of the best segments. I think people were like, the whole time, right? The whole time they were talking, people were just plugged in, right? Which was great, but it didn't generate money because people were too busy watching how great the content was, right? When Garrison's talking and the other guys are talking, we're joking about it there at the place. We had like a little competition, like, you know, who generated more money. But there's more moments of silence in those interviews where people can get in. And Garrison does a great job of, like, you know, and in the book, that's part of the raffle item. You're going to get, and he kept saying that as he was talking and people kept bidding on it. That's definitely cool. I love this. Two heavyweights like Bo and Nick together, great. Bluff and VDT together would be great, right? Get Ed and Garrison together would be great. I love the idea of kind of a little Clash of the Titans kind of thing. That would be super cool. I like that. So that could be interesting. I love it. That's a great idea. Again, Duracell's idea of having a table that's always going live with a network play along on like a craps app kind of a thing. That would be fantastic. Well, and by next year we'll have Nexus Craps done, so we can do it with Nexus Craps. That'd be great. Getting it set up to where you have that being filmed, plus the other part separate from that in that venue will be tough because of the noise. But we'll figure out a way to make that. I think that's a really good idea. I love the idea, Duracell. So don't think that we were on you about your idea. It was on you. We were on you about just kind of keeping chat funneled about the thing. All right, let me go check for cues. Any questions that are specifically here? Duracell says, hope Jen feels better. Jen did text our group yesterday. She does not have COVID, although she sounded like she invented COVID over the weekend. She was terrible. Let's see. Yeah, Mark, the 12-foot table was needed at CQ. The nice thing about the table, though, over there, to be honest with you, it was a little one. Like, what is that thing, 8 feet, 9 feet? The camera, where you put the camera up top, it fits perfect. Like, it gets the whole table perfectly. Like, there's one camera view, done. That thing is awesome. I love it for that reason. Although it's not hard. And also, frankly, as rookie dealers, having 3 people play is enough. So that table is actually perfect, I think, for the filming that we were trying to do. It's about where do we do that plus have the interview thing. Let's see. Did it meet my expectations? Well, Skill, financially, of course it did. Because again, you had, you know, Dan and Jeff and Jen and Jeff and Gargoyle and Bud step up with the big donations. I think the other donations, although there were many of them, the interest wasn't there like it usually is. So that's on me. Like, I think the show wasn't as compelling over 2 days as it could have been, which I think led to a drop. So in some respects, yes, obviously the money was great. We hit our goal. In other respects, no, I didn't hit the mark. So I'll internalize some of that. We'll have a meeting about some of that. But yeah, I don't think it hit the mark. So from a show standpoint, I don't think the show over 2 days was as good as it could have been. And that's just content on me, right? That so I'm a yes on here, and I'm a no on some other parts of it. So there's that. Um, let's see. Let's see. Dan has an idea for next year. I will call you at my leisure. And let's see. Skill says I want to see a segment that lets everyone bet on betting systems versus betting systems. Oh, like just like a side by side like this versus that kind of thing. That's cool too. Yeah, and I think some of the heavyweight bouts that we had, Jen and I arguing a lot and all that those are fun, but at some point it ends up being what do you get out of that in the end, right? It's fun, but that's it. I would love to get the Hawaiians in. The problem with the Hawaiians, we've done them twice, right? Where they getting them connected and the noise. Remember, we couldn't ever hear them, so we did it 2 years in a row. We couldn't hear them, so we can't get them in. They got to come. I want to get them scheduled now for next year to be there with us, and that will be a thing, I think, for sure. Yeah, we couldn't get to show that. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to do an on-the-table demo tomorrow, Jen, to talk about that. And this is an interesting conversation because don't get stuck on the $64, right? It's not about the money. What I was trying to say is it's not about the exact dollar amount, right? It was about the idea of being big coming down versus just starting where you are. There was a guy the other night that was starting where he was. His starting bet was 640, right? With me and Dan. It was 640 or 550, whatever it was. He started big, right? And always grew from there. He never regressed, right? That's what the point was. Don't get stuck up on the 64. It's your starting bet that I want to talk about. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. I do want to do that. But yeah, some comparison demos on that for sure. We didn't have time to really roll the dice there. It would have been nice to have rolled the dice and get that, right? So let's talk about that. I have some thoughts, by the way. Talking to Dan some, talking to you some, Jen, talking to myself, obviously, right? About these different kind of ways to approach a table, right? And again, whether it's start low, build up, whether it's start high, come down, whether it's regress up and pull, whether it's 2 hits and walk away, whether it's grind it out, right? There's so many different ways to approach it. And I really want to talk through options and not really land on like, this is the one, but like when we talk options, somebody goes, oh, that's what I need to be doing. I need to change from this to this because for my bankroll that works better, or for my mind it works better. So I want to make sure we present that. Mark Manhattan says break-in dealers suck, and I would say to you this: they don't suck. I mean, they're not good. They're not good at dealing yet. That's why they're break-ins, right? I like break-in dealers. Frankly, there's times where if I'm on like at Planet, here's a great example for you. Okay, and Jen and Ryan. I know I'm not sure, Ryan, but Jen, you can back me up on this. You were at Planet Hollywood with us, right? How would you describe the dealers at Planet Hollywood versus the dealers at Palace, right? In my opinion, Palace Station dealers were courteous, they were kind, they were eager, they were slow, and they made mistakes. Yeah? That's a break-in house. They're trying to figure it out. They're like happy to be there. Great, I'm glad I have a job. And they're feeling their way through. And it can be slow, right? Got to break in somewhere. You go to Palace, those people couldn't have been more disinterested in us. 100%. Good dealers, but they were, the word I would use for them is not cranky, but disinterested. Didn't give a flying shit that we were there. Couldn't care less. If you put a dealer bet out, they started talking to you. Exactly. Boy, we're like hive mind over here, right? That was Planet. That was horrible. I had a worse time at Planet than I did at Palace, even though Planet was fast, accurate, good dealing. I hated it. Those guys sucked the life out of me. I was like, this is right. But I know, go to Caesars, go to Bellage, right? Those dealers are both engaged and good because it's a higher level game, right? So you've got this like upper echelon strip, higher level game dealer. You've got the Fremont Street party time, always having fun dealer, right? You got the lower mid strip, cranky, pissed off dealers. And they got the break-ins, right? They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but I don't mind the break-ins. Break-ins don't bother me at all. All right, I'm trying to think what else here do we have. I'm going through the Mark the Point says the private table videos are coming out, which is great. We can do it through Nexus next year, not this year, but yeah, when I have the Craps app written next year, we'll do it through Nexus for sure. Let's see. I'm trying to wind through here. So I know my eyes are off camera, but I'm just going through. Let's see. I'm trying to find other comments. Planet Hollywood cheered you up when you threw the ATS. Yeah. Brian, yeah, it was a good live stream. The staff did great. As Jim put it, we have to get you guys involved more next year. I want you there. I want to find a way to get you all there and like have it in person. I think that would be a big thing. I think getting the doing your live table we couldn't hear. Let's see. Check PCs. Is there more PCs that I'm missing? Did I miss something? It was great meeting everybody. Yes, 100%. There you go. Let's put that out there. Get on out. We had a good time, right? That was a fun weekend. And getting out there, being in the thing, and you can say you were there the whole time watching from behind the scenes, right? And seeing how how the sausage gets made, kind of thing, right? It was really good to have you out there. Yeah, for sure. Skill says, I want to see Lori step up and let her play. Well, I let the veteran play. Lori didn't want to try it, but Eddie the veteran was great. He's a snapper, which I loved. And like after 2 seconds of the pass line, he's like, how do I make money? Where can I put more money? He won his first pass line bet and he fucking parlayed it, man. That was great. That was awesome. I just love that. The cocktail waitress. Well, you know what's funny? I had 2 occasions, Leon, thanks for reminding me, where I sevened out on a superstition. So we had that segment in the end. Are you superstitious? Right. Well, on Friday night we were there and I had the dice and I think it was it was the night that I was doing good, I think, right? Maybe it was when I hit the small. Was it I think it was. I think I'd hit the small and I got a text message from Lori from Vets Moving Forward that she was there, that Eddie had arrived, right? Eddie the veteran with his pup had arrived and they went to the front desk and they wouldn't give him his room. Like we had a room for them and they wouldn't honor the room, or they didn't have him on the list, whatever. So as I'm throwing, I just hit the small, my phone's going off and I'm like, oh man, I got to get Eddie. I got to get Eddie and so I'm like, sorry guys, I got to pass mid roll. I got to pass the dice and go take care of him. Right. So the dice come to me and I'm like, I'm going to pass the dice after this throw. I'm going to go take care of his room. I get the dice 7. Right. Of course. I'm not sure it was the next night. Again, I was on a pretty good roll and I'm doing my thing and I didn't even know it happened. I might have heard her behind me, but I really didn't pay attention. And here comes the cocktail waitress, right? And I'm shooting, I'm leaned over the table and underneath my armpit comes my whiskey, right? And that was the 7 on that one. I did grab Jen's shoulder. I went back to Jen and I said, because she had done the 5-leg. She had, at that point, had 4 legs of the pass line parlay, which she said never happens. And I walked over, I said, hey, Jen, and I pat her on the back, just so you know, you just got the 4-leg parlay for me. And she's like, oh, you just touched me. You know, sorry, I didn't do that. And then she did another one. So anyway, yeah, that was fun. There's always the thing is, there's always a good story, right? When you're at these things, there's always something funny that happens like that. Yeah. So, all right. You lost more at the airport bubble. Really? No kidding. The airport bubble craps are rigged. Where are they? I didn't see them. We were on E last night and I didn't see them, but of course we were too busy trying to find food, to look that close. But after getting thumped on my coffee run that morning, which I was bringing home like $700 out of my 1,000. And I was like, okay, I lost some, whatever. And then I sat like we had to wait an hour and a half to go to the airport. That's when I coffee run and blew it. And I probably should have done that. Yeah, the cocktail waiters, good Lord. All right. I think that's everything, guys. There's more to talk about. Let's see. I'm going through it all. Definitely the bubbles at E. Okay, so I just didn't. Gate A and bubbles at E. I didn't see the there. Let's see. It was a great way to. Otherwise, yeah, it was a costly mistake. Jen said, "I even paid for John's whiskey to get rid of her." I wasn't even paying attention. I was actually kind of locked in. My throws, I was kind of locked in this weekend when I was doing well. All right, that's it, everybody. I'm gonna get out of here. and do some work. Uh, as I always say this, right? Thanks for hanging out, and putting up with all the lead up to this. I know it's a lot of repetition as we get into these things. A couple more days of me beating you up for donations here. Get the crapsforthecure.com, and there's still the raffle items are out there for the power craps and for Gargoyles felt. So if you feel the love, go get some of that. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning we're gonna do a little bit of strategy style, play style comparisons, not even strategy comparisons, but play style comparisons tomorrow morning. And then Friday morning we'll do our final auction. So there we go. Love y'all. God bless everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. And thanks for hanging out. Bye, y'all.